Ever fancied owning your own man cave? Follow us on a journey as we build one using basic hand tools, which will hopefully go from looking like this to this. Stay tuned to Man vs. Man Cave. So we decided on some LED lighting for the shed, so I'll just show you what we've been doing, and then hopefully tonight when it's dark I'll be able to show you exactly what it looks like. So I've just been putting this track up, so it's a nicely engineered bit of aluminium, and it's got like a plastic frosted front that clips on there. So yeah, I've cut that down various angles. I'll just show you around the front of the building. So we're running it in a line up there, and don't worry about this wood at the top here because we're going to use some sort of plastic on there, some black plastic. So all the way along there, obviously, you know, taking care of the corners there. So we've done a mitered corner there, and we've got another tricky internal one there, and then it all the way goes back to our fuse board over there where we can control it. Now I'll just show you the lights we're using. Okay, there's the lights we're using, and they come from a company called avsl.com, but from TLC they're called Fluxia, so I'm not too sure quite you know what the branding is. It's got IYYT at the top there, so there you go. Anyway, it's an intelligent LED light strip. Now I've bought two master kits, 5 meters long, so it's just a little bit short for the front of our building because we're sort of 6 meters long, but we're hoping that's going to be really good. And what's good about this stuff is you can actually control the pixels. So you know, they're intelligent lights, so they come with a little remote control. There's the little kit you get, and what I've done is bought two masters, because the only difference between that and the master is you get the remote control. So I thought, well, I might as well have a spare, you know, because they always go wrong and that kind of thing. But you can actually do different flows with them, like 99 different programs. So when it gets dark and I get these in, I will show you what it looks like, and hopefully it's going to look quite magical. We're actually going to put those down the bottom as well, you know, under the step and all the way along the building. I'll just show you the little connectors that you get with it as well. Have a little rummage in the old TLC bag. I should get advertising money for this. Yes, you get these little connectors so you can go around corners. So you just scrape the little sort of varnish stuff that's on the unit, and then these plug on, you know, just to allow you to go around corners. They do various different T-pieces and all sorts of stuff, so good stuff. And like I say, from TLC Electrical. Right, so I'll just give you a close-up of the tape itself, because it is quite flexible, but I don't think it's going to go around the corners of our building very well. So this is basically what it looks like. It's got, let's just turn you around there. So it's got this kind of covering, this plastic or rubberized coating over the thing, and then you've got these cut lines. So there's one there, every about 5 inches or so you've got another cut line, if you can see that. So what you have to do, which is what I've done down here, is, where are we? There. You've got to just use a knife and strip back that covering there so you can get to the terminals. I mean, this is a soldered one here, but not necessarily that you need to do it at that point. But yeah, just strip that coating off, and then you can obviously cut that in half and solder on your little link wire just to go around the corner. So we've only got 2 of these to do, so hopefully it goes well. Otherwise you've knackered up the the run of lights, but they do suggest it's quite simple. It is quite a nice thick covering on that. It's about 12mm wide, about 3mm high. It is quite flexible, so it possibly might have gone around the corner, but I don't want to risk it, you know, so I'll use the link wires and solder it up together. So we'll do a light show tonight. Right, what I would say is if you can get away without cutting this stuff, do so, because I'll show you they don't give you a lot to go on. I don't know if you can see that there. Oh, let's get him in focus. Yeah, the cut lines are quite tight, so you've got to be brave. I mean, you spent sort of what, 70 or 80 quid on this thing, and you're sort of wrecking it. But and that covering is quite hard to get off, that plastic stuff. I've tried as much as I can, so I'm going to try and burn through it a bit with the soldering iron now. hold my breath, that kind of jobby, you know, but quite hard to get into. So hopefully we'll have a result in a minute. But yeah, it's looking troublesome. Right, you can tell when you've got the rubber stuff off, because I don't know if you can see that, but the solder suddenly comes very sparkly, you know, so the two ends are done. The middle ones have still got a bit of that rubber stuff on. But once you get to that sort of shiny aspect, you'll know you've got something to solder to, but very tight. And the other thing is these connectors will not fit in your metal tubing. They're too, you know, they spread it out much too wide. So what I've got to do is cut those wires off and make those go around the bend instead. So all in all, yeah, not a great design. I'd say that's way too thick. You know, the actual tape itself just about goes in that track, so there's no chance of that ever happening. Right, so I'm just going to tin these wires. Forgive the shakes, I'm getting on a bit. So yeah, you just want to make sure you've got enough solder on there so that when you touch it on that little pad, it's going to stick on there straight away. Oh, always get a difficult one, don't you? It's like the Blue Peter job here. Right. Okay, so they're all tinned. Just trim them back so they're nice and level, and then we'll go for the biggie. Well, it's probably a bad idea, but I'm going to film this. This is the first one, so I've taped the track down. Right, so hopefully you can see what we're doing here. So I'll just do the first one. And there it is. So I would say if you're not good at soldering, you know, I mean this is like microsurgery here, so you know, if you're not great, it's delicate work as well. I would say try and bend it round the track, because this is not as easy as they make out. Right, so I'll just give you a close-up of that. Like I say, it is absolute microsurgery. Hold on, if I can zoom in there. So you can see absolutely tiny, and you don't want any of those junctions to, you know, blend into the next one. You'll have a nightmare getting the solder off. But as you can see, really odd coloration there. So ground is correct, but then you've got plus 12 down the bottom is blue for some reason. But the wire is sort of moulded together. So I've just got to do that other end. And then, so we've got another couple of junctions to do. And hopefully it'll work at the end of the day. I did test it before I started this, and it worked, so could be the kiss of death, couldn't it? Well, there's just one other thing to remember here. If you see that arrow there, obviously there is the tendency that you could put this round the other way. So then you're going to connect your plus to your minus, and you know, terrible things will happen. So you've just got to match up that arrow. See that cut section there? So you've got arrows all the way through it. As long as you do that and you haven't got two arrows pointing at one another, you know, like that way round, you know, because obviously you're going to short it all out then. So just worth remembering that one. So the best method I've found to strip those ends back is if you've got a fingernail, is just scrape it across that stuff. And eventually you get that copper showing there. So, but like I say, you don't want to use anything sharp on there because you might rub away those contacts. But it does seem to be a good way of getting it nice and clean. Then just tin that with your soldering iron and join up. So I've just extended the tape there, and yeah, you just literally tape it down and then do solder joints between the two exposed terminals there. So that looks quite nice. Obviously we'll insulate that in some way, probably a bit of tape or something around that just to protect it. But there you go. Right, so we're just after surgery, and as you can see, thank God, the whole kit is running. So what I'll do is once I get this in, I'll show you tonight how the different settings on the controller work and all that, and should have a bit of a light show. Very bright. I'm really impressed with the brightness of these things, and like I say, you can do some pretty decent chase patterns with it. In fact, if I find the remote, I will show you some here. Hold on a sec. So it's got demo mode on there, so if I press demo mode, you can see it does all sorts of weird stuff. It's really quite impressive, and this will change, I think, through all the 99 different programs. You know, it just does a slow sort of phase, but I mean, really funky for a building. You know, I think this is stuff they use on Strictly Come Dancing, you know, around the stage and all that, because you can do some pretty amazing light stuff with it. But if you can, I think get yourself a straight building with no bends or anything, because I don't know that I'm going to do all these joiny bits again. You know, it's been a right hassle getting that to join. I know they say it's easily cut and join, but it's not really. But as you can see, that's really, you know, for a party or something. I mean, inside it'd be even more impressive, I suppose, but I mean, I've done it on the outside. It really is quite, it's a step above those other ones where they just do colour fades and changes, you know. So I'll just give you an overview of what we've done here. We've run the track all the way around the top there. We've got those bends that were rather annoying to join up, and then all the way across to the end. And we've got that little end bit over there, and what that does is connects up with the next set. It's got like a mains or 12 volt connection there, and then a little link wire to join onto the next set, so the pattern would follow, you know, another set which we're actually going to put down under the step down there and all the way along. So, you know, and I'll just show you what I've done up here. So I've just literally pushed that, you know, into the track. I haven't put the glue stuff. There's like a 3M tape on the back. So let's just zoom out a little bit. And then I've drilled a hole through there, and then the little connectors in there, so you just snap that onto the mains 12 volt adapter. There's the little Bluetooth jobby thing there. With the RF one, they've stopped doing the Bluetooth one, so you can't do it off the mobile phone anymore for some reason. I contacted them and they don't make that anymore. And then I'm just down to a socket there that controls our lighting, you know, from the switch there. So in a moment, when I get down, I will show you what we got. Big daylight, but still impressive, I suppose. I'll just show the difference between the frosted diffuser and the bare naked lights. So there you go. I think they do a clear version of this as well, so, you know, it depends what look you're going for, but I think the diffused look, you know, kind of spreads it out a little bit, dissipates it. But yeah, it's a bit like being at Playboy Mansion but without the girls, isn't it? So that's demo mode there. And you can see how these joins have gone around the corner, so we're not stressing the tape, so it probably was worth it, but yeah, a lot of hassle to do that. So there's the other one in the corner there. But once I get this acrylic sheet on the top here, that's why there's a gap there. We have a 3mm acrylic black sheet on here, so it'll really sort of bounce off that and give it a good look. But yeah, well pleased with them. Really nice. Right, just a word about this cover. You've because it's slightly radiused, you've got to obviously radius the top, because if you do a traditional mitre on that, you'll end up with a situation where you've got a big gap in the middle. So, you know, this one's not quite finished, but you need to, you know, pick a side and actually physically put a radius on that. Same on the inner corners as well. So I've got to do a bit more work with that one, but yeah, you've just got to shape it so that it meets the other face, otherwise you'll end up with a real horrible looking corner. And obviously buildings are all about the junctions and how neatly you do them, so that's what gives you a right finish, you know, that's what architects are looking for. Just give you an idea of the brightness of these things. Getting a bit dark now. But yeah, quite tasty. Even with that diffuser on, they're still well bright, you know. close up of that there. Obviously we're going to run these down underneath the deck as well, so it'll look quite impressive. Anyway, I've run out of footage there. I'm on 0 minutes, so you've had your lot.